Alright, so I had a little bit of an emergency situation. The new server was down to about 49 gigabytes. So between starting the new upgrading to 1080 project, which I'm only in like the mid B's at the moment, plus new releases that have come out and a couple other things, the server was essentially full. Now again, there's a little bit of overhead. There's about 2 terabytes free that's just reserved. So I could have potentially used a little bit more, but you don't want to completely fill disks. So I made an executive decision between the holiday and they're kind of doing forced overtime right now because it's launch season. I was looking at the drives on Amazon. The recertified drives keep going up and up and up, but I really needed some drives. So I did the eBay thing. I checked like server part deals and the other kind of places that I've purchased before through things like Newegg or Amazon, you know, known retailers. Plus I've heard people talk about them before. They only had one in stock. So I checked eBay and these are supposedly the same Seagate Exos recertified white label drives that, you know, you would get anywhere else. Although these are a little more unlabeled than typical, and they're actually kind of scratched up a little bit. But in theory, they should work the same. Hopefully. I got 2, because I think if I add 2 at a time, at least for this next upgrade, it, if my understanding is correct, should let me update to 2 parity discs. Which, considering now the size of the array and the length of time for rebuilds based on the size of the array again, and the fact that all of these drives are now recertified, there's not a single original drive in here, I would definitely prefer to have double parity. You know, all the data is backed up between the other redundant server, not to mention the single copy on the external file drives. But I think it's time for double parity. And it's supposed to let me convert from 5 to 6. It didn't the last time, at least that I noticed, when I added a single drive. But if I add 2, I think it's supposed to be able to do the double parity, basically move it to RAID 6, as well as expand capacity. So that'll be an experiment. I'm still currently at work. I signed up for extra hours before they said it was mandatory, so I'm kind of glad I did. And that's pretty much going to be now through the end of the year. So I got a little bit of time before I got to go back, because as part of that they mandate hour lunches, which is kind of dumb. I don't really like, but whatever. So I'm probably going to pop these in here. I don't know that I'm going to start the expansion, being that they're from eBay and I'm not, you know, as comfortable or familiar with these specifically as I am the usual recertified drive. Kind of want to let them sit in there a minute, do a test, make sure that they're not going to error out or anything strange before I start messing with the array. So I'll probably put them in now on launch and then let them sit there, and I probably will start the expansion after I get off for the night. But I'm not in quite as much trouble as I thought. Apparently I'm a dumbass. So I was doing some reading. You know, first off, when I got down to 49 gig, it's like, okay, well, this is obviously problematic. Let me go ahead and start to delete some stuff. So I deleted a couple things, because basically what's been going on is, you know, I have the 1080 files that I'm copying to the server, and then, you know, as I rename them and whatever, I remove the lower gen, you know, the 640s and the whatever, the DVD res. But I wasn't really paying that much attention to the storage. As it was getting lower and lower and lower, it's like, okay, well, let me start working on this. It's not going up. What the heck? Am I just not reading the number right? So let me delete a couple of big things. Still no change, not increasing capacity. So I started doing some research, and, you know, because, you know, I was thinking maybe it was because it was thin provisioning or maybe something else. They were talking about, you know, shadow images and snapshots, none of which I'm using. But I did have recycle bin enabled. So, you know, I checked the Windows recycle bin. It's not showing anything for that drive. It's like, what gives? So then I go onto the NAS itself, dig through the finder, or, well, I guess their version of, you know, the file manager, file station, and I see a deleted or a recycle bin there. I click on that, and there's all this stuff. It's like, what is all this? So apparently, anytime you move a file, anytime you rename a file, even doing a delete, whether you do a shift delete in Windows or whatever, it is actually keeping a copy in the recycle bin. I definitely didn't expect it to do it for a move. Deleting I could kind of see, but just moving it off the drive, it still keeps it. So I went ahead and emptied the recycle bin, and then after, you know, like 15 minutes, I had almost 6 terabytes. It was like 5.99. So crisis averted. Apparently I didn't need to run out and get drives. Although I got these on a really good deal. I was trying to wait for them to go back to like the 219, 227 range. Amazon had them for like 260 at the time. These were actually like 175, I think. It was like 189, and then if you got 2 or more, you got a 5% discount. So I think I brought it down to like 175 or 179 a drive. So not a bad deal, and you know, I did need the space. I mean, the server doesn't even have everything. It's still just basically movies. I still haven't moved over TV shows or anything else. But yeah, so it was back up to almost 6. It's now back down to 5.17. Again, you know, it's been a couple of weeks, maybe a week or two at this point, where I'm, you know, like I said, and at the time I was at 49, I was like, just had done A's, a 1 and A. Now, like I said, I'm mid B, and you know, like I said, that plus some new stuff has come out. I'm already down almost a terabyte. Another, you know, I'm down to 1.57 or 5.17. So it's not like I don't need the space. And like I said, I'm only going to get 1 drive of capacity if the double parity actually works out like I intend. But it's still going to be like, you know, 25 gig total, or, you know, 23, whatever. But by the time you take out the file system, and maybe 21 by the time you actually take out the additional reserve space. Which will do me good for a bit. Should get me through the rest of the project, and you know, maybe I can start moving over the TV shows. But yeah, so got new drives. Didn't really need to, but kind of needed to anyway. So pros and cons. And like I said, I kind of got some extra money right now because of some extra time and some holiday pay and things like that. So yeah, that is the story. All right, let me pop these in here, make sure they at least fire up, and let them sit there for a minute, make sure they don't error out, and see if I can actually get this to convert RAID types. See you later. Well, I ran a quick disk test on both. I didn't want to do the full test because it's going to take like 4 hours. So they both report healthy, power on hours, and everything looks fine. So it is what it is. Like I said, the data is backed up either way. So I went ahead and started the process. Selecting both disks, it did let me actually pick RAID 6. So it looks like right now it's migrating first, probably just duplicating the parity. And then I assume once it does that, then it'll start the actual expansion process. So this is probably going to take 12 days or more based on the last time I added a disk. And you know, it's only getting bigger from there, so I guess I'll keep you posted. Currently we are at 6 o'clock on a Thursday, 6 p.m. So, you know, I'll let you know as it goes. At least I can kind of keep an eye on it starting next week, because I just finished training for the next tier beginning of last month, so beginning of August. It's now mid-September, and Monday I am actually starting training for the next step up. That one's not a pay increase. It's just, you know, there's like 4 or 5 tiers in the line of business that I'm in, and only the first one, where you go into tech training, is a bump, and then there will be another bump when you go to tier 2. Yes, they funnel everybody into tier 2 for whatever reason, and that's also a bump. But everything else in between, it's just extra duties, more phone calls, same pay scale. So this one will be a bump. It's only a 4-day training, but you know, there's also nesting, so the next 2 weeks is going to be the training for that. And then, you know, we actually also just had a shift bid. So after that, next 2 weeks, then I'll be actually on my new schedule, which is going to be later. I shifted a little bit this last time, which I wasn't super happy with. Finally got back to 2 to 10:30, same Saturday, Sunday off, so that's awesome. It's basically the exact shift I wanted. Even though I was like 253 in the stats as far as the rank, I still got my very first bid slot, so you never know. It just depends on what people around you like. You know, a lot of people try to go for the morning positions. I never really liked mornings. The wife isn't on mornings, so mornings are difficult for me. So the 2 weeks in training are going to be lovely. It's going to be 9 to 5:30, Monday through Friday. But you know how training is. Now, like I said, it's only 4 days, so only the first couple of days I'll be able to like mess around and kind of move back and forth between screens. After that, the rest of that week and the following week is nesting, so I'll actually be taking phone calls for a good chunk of the day. So, you know, couldn't pay less attention there, but it'll still be nice. Nice to get a little more variety of calls. So that's my story. I've already pulled out the Halloween decorations. I've done some of the indoor stuff. Haven't really done anything with the lights outside yet. I guess that'll be the project for this current weekend. I don't know if I'm doing the big bush outside because I put the lights on too early last year and they never trimmed it, so it's kind of scraggly and out of control. And they still haven't trimmed it coming up on next fall, the following fall, I guess I should say. So until they trim it, I guess I'm probably not going to worry about it, or until like the opportunity has passed. Like if we're in November, you know, I'm probably going to decorate it for Christmas, because at that point, if they haven't done it, they're probably not going to. So I'll start working on some of that here pretty soon. It's not a whole lot. It's just a couple of light strings. I don't do a ton for Halloween. But yeah, so the server migration has started. Let's see how many days it takes. My break's about over, so I'm going to go ahead and head back to calls. And I'll update you as I have something to update you on. Well, it's been almost exactly 48 hours. I ended up starting at 6 o'clock at night on Thursday. It's now exactly 6 o'clock on Saturday. And it is 43% and change. Looks like 43.53. Done with the migration process. So that's just step one. I assume once it's done migrating, and I think that means going from 5 to 6, that it's then gonna start the actual expansion. So yeah, like I said, week plus. We'll see how it goes, I guess. But it's making progress. So once this is done expanding, it should be basically the same size as the other server. 7 discs versus 6. Double parity though, so one of those discs we just cut off, so then this will have 6 20s of capacity essentially, and the other one will have 4 20s and 2 22s, which is giving me about 2 and change terabytes for, you know, extra, but that's more than addressed by the SSDs on this one. So if anything, this should actually be a terabyte or 2 bigger than the existing one. But I don't know that I love the fact that they're 7. I kind of want it to be even. And apparently the overtime isn't going anywhere. From what we've been told, it's pretty much going to be mandatory between now and the end of the year, through the holidays. And you can always sign up for more. It's encouraged that you do. I did my first week of 4 10-hour days plus an 8-hour, so I had 48 hours for the week, and it was fine. I got a little cranky on the 5th day. That was 3 10s in a row, but I don't know if that was just the customers I was dealing with or just a side effect of working so much. Either way, I think I'll be able to handle some 50-hour weeks for a month or two. And if it gets a problem, you know, maybe I'll do like 45 or 46 or something. Because they're adding 3 hours to everybody, whether you like it or not, from what I'm told. Point being, we'll have some extra money, so maybe I'll end up getting another drive. Now the question is, do I go directly and get another 20? Or do I do the other thing I was thinking about? Just get another 22. So there'll be 3 22s in the other server, and I could move a 20 out of there into this one. It's only like another 50 bucks or something, 50 to 80, depending on what kind of deal I can find. Of course, once this has the extra drive, it's going to be bigger than the other server and have more space than I need. So everything will be copied to this one at that point. And the plan is to then at that point just turn off the other server so I can stop running both for noise and longevity. I mean, the other one is, like I said, not new. It's running on like 15 years old at this point or something like that, so I may turn him off and use him as an offline backup. But it'd be nice to have some more space over there. Not that an extra 2 terabytes is going to do a whole lot, because it's only going from a 20 to a 22, at least for now. But it'll make the space more efficient, and then I can put some stuff over there. But something to think about. Anyway, that's all I got for you for now. Alright, we're 4 days in, about 98 hours, and we're at 79.3% on the migration. So probably by this time tomorrow, give or take a little bit, the migration should be done. Then it can start moving on to the expansion. The old server is getting pretty close to full. I'm down to like 500 gig. Now I haven't actually pulled off the older, you know, B movies yet. I have basically all the Bs that I'm upgrading available to replace. So right now they're both sitting on there, so that'll come down a little bit. But yeah, the old server's filling up pretty quick. Also, I didn't mention in the last video, but they put Plex Pass on sale. So I finally got a Plex Pass lifetime membership. I figure it does enough that I want to do locally. Like, I like the trailers. I like that you can do multiple editions of movies. Probably going to set it up at the in-laws house. I was thinking my mom could do it too, but I don't think they have anything that's capable of actually running Plex. So much for that idea, but I figure it's on sale. I've been hearing rumors about a price increase eventually, so let me jump on it while I can. Especially if I'm going to start using it on mobile devices and stuff. Things, especially like Plex Amp, I want to give a shot. Anyway, I'm exhausted. I was going to go through the movies and start working on some of that, but I'm just too damn tired. Didn't sleep great last night. You know, of course, I'm on the morning schedule now because of the training. And yeah, it's kicking my butt, even though it's only the first day. Fun fact, training is apparently only 3 days. The 4th day is actually for mentoring training. So apparently now we get to become mentors, which, you know, another step up the ladder. And no raise or anything, but it's a step in the direction of, you know, becoming a quality assessment or person or whatever. Anyway, like I said, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go take a nap before the wife comes home. I'll deal with this later. I just don't feel like it right now. Well, here we are at the end of day 5, plus about 39 minutes. And we're at 93.4%. So, not quite done. Possibly tonight, more than likely tomorrow morning. And again, this is just still stage 1. So, you know, it's getting there, but it's a slow process. I can get the 22 terabyte hard drive for like $169 on eBay right now. Again, assuming I trust that. And then I believe one of my cards is offering an extra 5% cash back on top of that for this month right now on eBay. So I guess that'd be also kind of cool. Talking like another 10, 12 bucks, something like that. So I may do that. I don't know, to be determined. End of day 2 in training. Still really tired. Again, I'm not really sleeping well at night. You know, I tried taking a sleep gummy. Every time I do, I don't feel good. I get a headache. I'm intolerant to fake melatonin or something. I don't know. But I'm gonna go take an extended nap now. Getting a little bit of a head start from yesterday. Hopefully I can actually sleep, you know, 4 or 5 hours. So even if I do get a little less sleep tonight proper, I'll still have overall more rest. So I'm done with this for now. I'm still working on merging the B's in. Still have like 63 items to address, and then I haven't done animated yet. But I'm good for now. It's not like this project's going anywhere. Alright, till next time here in a little bit. Probably tomorrow. Well, here's a twist. Maybe it was doing it concurrently. I got an email notification that the storage expansion was done, and I've got the capacity now. So it's currently showing, like, after I expanded the folder, 21 terabytes free of 83.4, which is definitely expanded. It's still only showing 83 versus 92, but again, you know, it's got reserve space and things like that, which I wasn't really factoring into it'll be the same size, but neither here nor there. But it still says mag rating, even though it says 100%, so, and it still says RAID 5. So I'm assuming it's still working on the migration to RAID 6. How long that'll actually take, I don't know. But apparently it's not going to do the expansion after, it's already did it. So that's cool, because I kind of need the space ASAP. So bonus. We'll see if it updates overnight to RAID 6, or if it'll take longer, but the expansion is the part I was kind of more worried about. Good deal. Well, I don't know exactly. It's been less than 30 minutes. And now it's finally showing online, totally done, RAID 6. So, doubly redundant hard drives, which makes me feel a lot better finally. And done. And I did it all on the same go. So that really wasn't that bad. Just over 4 days. 5 days. Yeah, just over 5 days. 5.5, basically. Yeah. To do it. Not too shabby. I'm gonna go ahead and start migrating some more stuff over to it. And then, yeah, I'm really likely gonna pick up that other hard drive. Just to get everything on the new server. And get the old server some more space. And I'm gonna have the funds here pretty soon to do it, so seems like a good move. Alright, battery's low, so I'll try to make this quick. It's kind of boring anyway. So storage alert, I was down 363 gig on the old server. And that has been kind of tricky copying stuff too. I mean, you know, as the lower it gets, the worse it gets. As far as the errors and stuff, that's still a thing. So I went ahead and started deleting some TV series, stuff that if I lose, not the end of the world, because it's stuff I should probably upgrade anyway. So like old Deep Space Nine, old Star Trek, stuff that's, you know, still DVD res, things I would like to upgrade to 1080 at some point. So I deleted those, and we ended up getting back up to like 902. 449 terabytes free on the other server, which isn't great. Again, I have about, like, I think, okay, not quick enough. And I think I'm running out of charged batteries up on this floor. I'm gonna have to charge some or go downstairs and get the other ones. Anyway, I think I have about 7 terabytes reserved on here at the moment with its current capacity, so it's not as dire as it looks. At least on that one. Now this is a screenshot. This is the current capacity. So we're down to 4.08 terabytes on the new server. Now I do still have some old files I can delete. I haven't cleared the recycle bin in a minute. Continuing the 1080 upgrade project. I'm kind of going to try to wait to the end, because first off, I'm curious about how much space I can get back when I'm all said and done. If any. Well, no, I'll get space back, but I'm still net losing. You know, the new files are a little bit bigger, to sometimes a lot bigger. Depends on the movie. But there'll be some space to recover once I delete the extras. The other one's down to about 849 again. Now, I haven't put the last batch on there, which basically is C and some D, E, F, you know, like the folders. So that's actually less than that. And I still have plenty of movies and stuff I can delete, or not so much movies, but TV shows I can delete from over there if I really want to. But in any event, it's pretty dire. I'm going to try to milk this battery. I don't feel like trying to replace these right now. So I bought a drive, which I'm going to try to return, because I realized, at first I thought I wasn't going to do it at all, because the 22 terabyte drives were like 280, 290, somewhere in there, and the 4% off through that one promotion I had was like not even $10 or about $10. Like, it's not really worth it when the 20s are still like in the 180, 170 range. So I was just not gonna bother. And then I thought I caught a good deal. I thought I saw like for $269, it was a 22 terabyte, and then looks like the deal got extended. So I went ahead and ordered it. Well, as immediately as I clicked checkout and submitted the order, I realized there was an X22 20 gigabyte drive from Seagate. It's like, or 20 terabyte, sorry. It's like, come on guys, you know what you're doing there. It's stupid that you have that. So I, like, within 5 minutes, as soon as it let me, I tried to cancel the order. 3 days later, they said they couldn't ship the drive, or sorry, couldn't cancel the order. So they hadn't even shipped it yet, but 3 days in, they still couldn't cancel it. 2 days after that, they shipped it, and I sent them side messages as well as the cancellation request, and they still haven't replied to any of my messages, because it was like, hey, if you can't cancel the order, at least give me a discount to where the price matches for the other 20s, because why am I going to spend $269 on a 20 terabyte when I can get that same 20 terabyte drive for $169 or $79 on other sellers? But whatever. So they haven't responded to me. They ended up shipping it anyway. I love explaining a whole situation and realize like 5 minutes in that the camera's not even recording. So that's hilarious. And also this battery's at like 10%, so I don't think I'm going to get very far in that conversation. I also need to double check and see where I left off with the last clip so I can restart this last little bit. Also, I mean, this is the shot I was on when I realized it's not recording, so we'll come back to that. Okay, I hope you appreciate me. I went down 2 flights of stairs to get my other set of batteries. No idea what condition they're in. This one starts out at 100, so yay, I guess. So anywho, yeah, so I ordered it on the 24th. It's now October 3rd. It's supposed to be here tomorrow, allegedly. For $268, you know, which is a lot for a 20 terabyte drive. So as soon as it gets here, it's gonna go in the back. Assuming they even, you know, respond to my return request. You know, they haven't responded to anything else I've sent them so far. Maybe we'll get lucky and the tracking won't update, or they won't respond to me and it'll be covered under eBay's A to Z guarantee. And who knows, maybe I'll get a free drive out of the deal. But if not, you can have the drive back. Screw those people. They run a horrible e-store. So, yeah, like I said, that's going to go back. I thought it was a better deal than it is. It's not. But, in any event, I got an offer from eBay, where if you get a new eBay credit card, you get $50 off your statement if you spend over $150 in your first 30 days. So I went back to Serverport Deals, and I got a little side story about them here in a minute. But they had an actual 22 terabyte X22 for $279. They had a set up to make an offer. So at first I offered them $250, and I figured I'll order 2 drives, just, you know, make it a little bit more worth their while. See how that goes. They rejected it. So then I offered them $269. Now remember, it's listed for $279, and I figured, well, it's been listed that before recently. It's actually the price they have them listed for on their own website as of right now. They rejected that. So it's like, what's the point of having this make an offer thing if you're not going to actually accept any reasonable offers? But anyway, I ordered it $279, should be $229 plus tax after the statement credit, which is the price I paid for the 220s on Amazon a little bit ago. You know, for 2 20 terabyte drives, or 20, just actually the 7 20 terabyte drives I ordered from them, which is good because right now they're at like $250, $260 for the recertified ones. So I'm glad I got them when I did, because an extra $40 to $50 per drive. Well, no, like $40 per drive certainly would add up across 7 drives. So yeah, so there's that. But so this one, like I said, should be about $229, which is what I did pay for the old drives at 20. that's reasonable enough. I ordered on the 29th, 5 days after the Seagate one, from Seagate. And it got here today, and the other one, you know, I got on the 24th, and it's not supposed to be here till tomorrow. So, yeah, whatever. But anyway, so that's in the server now, the old server, syncing again. So now there's 3 20 terabyte drives in there and 3 22 terabyte drives in there. It's estimating 5.5 days just to do the resilver to get it back to redundant. It's probably going to take closer to 6 or 7, knowing that thing. And then it's going to have a whole other, you know, 4 to 8 day process to actually increase the capacity, but at least it's working on it. I could technically put this one in the other server now and have it start building up on its RAID process. I'm kind of hesitant to do it because having 2 servers in rebuild at the same time doesn't sound like a great idea. You know, it's kind of nice that I actually have the extra redundancy at this point, where if anything does happen with the rebuild process, all the data is on another server ready to go. I'm not relying on a single copy on the external hard drives. At the same time, I can't put this drive back into the old server either way. Even if I do, it's as soon as you pop the drive out, even if you pop the same exact drive right back in, it has to do a full wipe and restore. So if that server does die, having this drive ready to go is not going to really do anything for me. And since the other one is just doing an expansion, it's not necessarily or actually taking the RAID down to do it. It's probably relatively safe, but I still don't know that I want to risk it. And I do have the data on the external hard drive, so it's not like if everything crashed, I'd be okay. I don't know that it's worth the risk since the other server is not out of capacity yet. So I'm probably, for my own best interest and peace of mind, gonna hold off. So as soon as the other server is, I want to say done, but I don't know that I really want to wait 8 to 12 days before I pop in this other drive. I don't know that I have that much time before that other server's full. Hard to say. To be determined. So in any event, I got 320s and 322s in the old server. This is going to go on the new server. This will be my 8th 20 terabyte drive. So we're talking 6 20 terabyte drives of capacity. 2 of those are going to be used or are being used for parity. So that'll give me as much and actually a little bit more storage space than what the other server currently has. So I can finally copy everything over. And I guess that's a point. I don't have the servers fully mitigated, so even if the old server did die, I would still only have 1 copy of like the TV shows and stuff remaining. Actually, no. Well, yes and no. I did start copying some of the TV series stuff over to the new server. So I would lose like documentaries and stuff. TV I think we're covered on now. But anyway, so once the new server has also got this drive in it, I'll be able to put everything on it and still should have a decent chunk of free space to continue the expansion. And I won't have to worry about getting a new drive, hopefully for a bit. Months in theory. And then the old server, I don't know that I'm going to expand it again. I could put another 22 in it again, if it's a good deal, because then I'm basically getting a free 20 out of it. And then I got a couple more terabytes of capacity on that one, but it's never going to keep pace at this point. When I add a new drive to the other server, we're getting 18 plus terabytes of capacity versus 2 terabytes plus of capacity swapping a 20 to a 22. So it's already going to be outpaced with just this one drive. So at some point it's going to be not a direct mirror. At some point relatively soon, in fact. And then I'll just, I'll keep whatever I can on there as extra redundancy. But for the most part, I'll finally be able to retire it. I still need to migrate all the TVs and stuff over to the actual new server. Right now we're still watching videos on the old one. I haven't really changed the TVs over to the point of the new target yet. It's in the list. We're watching, if we're doing things through Plex, it's obviously going to the new server. But for the most part, like on the living room and the bedroom, we're still just using Kodi, just pointing to the shared directory on the old server. So I need to update that. Maybe this weekend. I'm going to have the weekend off and the wife is working. It's the first time that's been the case for a little bit at least. And then, so that should give me some time to kind of putz around the house and do some me stuff. It is October 3rd. We mostly have finished Halloween at this point. I got a couple of minor lighting things to still potentially do. I still need to put the lights on the garage. Not the lights, the magnets, for lack of a better word, the Halloween magnetic magnets on the garage door. I'll probably film it because a couple of things have changed this year. Not a lot. I added some new net lights to the back. We added some tombstones. But for the most part, it's the same configuration as last year, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. I did put in some hooks in the windows finally, so I'm not relying just on suction cups for my app lights. They should at least be able to stay up a little bit better and not fall down as the seasons progress. Especially considering they're going to be up, you know, from now, with, you know, end of September, early October, through like February, because I just changed the color profile between, you know, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Valentine's Day. And actually probably St. Patty's and Easter while we're at it. So they're up from like September to April. I actually was missing a set. I found two. I couldn't find the third one. Realized after a little bit that it was actually still in the bedroom window. I never actually took them down. They had kind of fallen down, but I never actually pulled them into the basement with the other stuff. So we'll probably do a lighting update here in a little bit once I finish up, which again I'll also probably work on this weekend. So yeah, server is doing its thing. Finally saw Dune Part 1 yesterday. I think the plan, well, I don't know actually. I was about to say we could watch Dune Part 2 this weekend, but again, if she's working, that's not gonna happen. Can't really watch Dune at the levels I want, you know, at midnight when she comes home. And then starting Monday, I'm back on my preferred schedule, so I'm going to be 2 to 10:30. So can't really watch, you know, it on Monday when I get out of work because she's got Monday off. So I guess it's waiting until next weekend, which is more of a gap than I would have liked, but it's fine. Of course, SVS has me drooling over their new SB and PB17 Ultra Revolution subwoofers. You know, I specifically avoided the 16 because I didn't want to do the weight, and I figure, you know, that's a lot of subwoofer for the you know, it's a lot of money. 2,800 is what they currently are going for. I think they were more not too long ago. But they got me tempted with the 17 because it's doing some interesting things. They've actually updated the tech. That's kind of the other reason too. I mean, the PB3000 I have is technically newer than the PB16, based on a lot of the same technology. So technology-wise, it's, you know, probably about the same, but, you know, that 16 hasn't been refreshed in quite a while. So, but, you know, 2 new towers first before I start worrying about new subwoofers. I'm still eyeballing the MV Core, you know, the video processor from MadVR. I don't need to be doing any of that right now. As it is, we kind of took a small step back in the loan repayment. I technically got a new loan because the one that I had, the largest one, actually had also the highest interest rate. It's kind of what I had to do at the time, about a year ago. But I figured, let me see what I can do. I figured if I can get the interest rate down to about 18, I would actually like save money and have the same exact payoff schedule. So I did some shopping around. I actually didn't manage to get one at the right interest rate, about 17 and change. Actually increased it a little bit, so I took on a little more debt, but basically the exact same payment, exact same payoff date, and it's still saving me, even with the extra fees and stuff, like $1,200 if I pay it off on time. If I pay it off sooner, like we're planning, it's going to save even more. But it gave me a buffer, so I was able to pay off the last Prime day and all the server stuff, so all the cards are back down to zero. Again, our monthly payments are staying exactly the same, and I'm still sitting on like $4,000 in kind of reserve, which is good because, you know, Prime Day is coming up next week too, 8th and 9th. I did take a day off unpaid this week because the wife needed me. She was off, and we had kind of a rough weekend. I don't really want to get into it right now. So she's not really been feeling herself, and so I spent the day with her. But so I lost pay on that. And then we are gonna go to Frankenmuth and Bronner's. This is a long, short update video. But we're gonna go to Frankenmuth and Bronner's in November, about, I think, 3rd week. I think it was 10th and 11th, 2nd week. I will have 2 days of PTO built up by then, but I kind of forgot we're going for 3 days. So, you know, 2 nights, but that basically means 3 days of travel. So I'm gonna have to take an unpaid day off there as well. Now there may be some overtime and stuff, opportunity-wise, which can help make up for it. We'll see. But the point is, having some extra money in the account as fluff is helpful to pay off whatever we buy up in Frankenmuth and still be even and zero on our debt. Credit card debt, more specifically. And you know, it'll cover some of my unpaid time off, so it would just seem like a good idea, and it's not really costing me anything. So it also shifts the onus from her account to my account, so now pretty much all the loans will be in my name and coming out of my account, which will make managing them a little easier. So there's that. But no, that's basically the update. Just, you know, not only, what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks since I got the other 220s to get it to a RAID 6 and some more capacity, because I did them on the 14th. 10 days later, I ordered another drive already. But this will be good. It'll give the old server a tiny little bit of breathing room, enough to kind of help continue update the movie project. It'll give me a lot of extra space and breathing room, and allow finally me to move all of the media over to the new server for basically the same price that I would have paid for another 20 terabyte, which wouldn't do anything for the old server. So figure it was a good move. We'll call it there. This video is probably about getting ready to wrap up. We'll do the video for the Halloween clip as a separate thing. I don't, you know, I might tack on the status of how long the server rebuild takes, because I haven't even published the other 2 videos yet because I've been lazy and I don't think anybody really cares. So I might go ahead and do that now. I got a little bit of time, just kind of sitting here not doing much. At least get the laser show video online, and then before you know it, I'll be doing Christmas updates. So I should probably get those published so I can start working on this one. And then I'll keep you posted if and when things change. Alright, have a good one. Thanks for watching. If you are. Are you? Question mark? Comment below. But I wouldn't bet on it. I can see the view counts. So just a super quick update on the server. It's been about 4 days. A little over. 4 days and some odd, like 6 hours, and we're at roughly the halfway mark. It started at about 9% because it never starts at 0, and we're 55% complete, which is really the realistic halfway point, and it's estimating another 85 hours, so another 3.5 days pretty much. So that'll take me somewhere between 7 and 8 just for the rebuild. And then it still has to do the actual expansion. I have the other drive in the other server, but I haven't actually started the sync and expansion yet, because again, I'm kind of worried about the data. But I don't know, we'll see. Down to about 3 1/3 on the old, or the new server rather, as we kind of progress in doing my project. So, I mean, it's holding fine. And then I haven't been copying anything to the other server because I don't want it to crash, you know, mid-synchronization. So it's still kind of exactly where it was. So that's where we're at. At least this week at work, I am starting my normal 2 to 10:30. Although we'll see how long that lasts, because the very next week they have me back scheduled for training again for the same thing I've already completed, which is obviously a mistake. But whether I'm in the training class or not, I kind of have to follow the schedule they give me. So if they don't fix it, I'm going to be back to 9 to 5:30, which is really going to irritate me. So I got to bug them this week to try to fix it, because that is not something we want. But anyway, like I said, it's going to be super short. That's just where we're at. It takes forever, which is why I bought the new server. I'm trying to expand the old one. It's a good way to get old 20 drives out of there and make the most of the other server, but I really am not sure it's worth the extra money. Although the 20s have actually gone up in price quite significantly. They're like $279 even on Amazon right now, which is what Western or Seagate has charged me for the 20 terabyte I got off eBay from them. I've contacted them again. I've already set up the return. I have till the 21st to return it, but I sent them another message like, hey, I'm just looking for like 45 bucks off to make this all even out to where we're, you know, I'm getting what I feel like is a decent deal. It could be as high as 70 if I wouldn't go with the lowest price I bought them on eBay, but to go with the Amazon price that I paid for most of them, it's about $45. I'd be satisfied with that. And they still have not responded. So, you know, whatever. I would really like that money back. Especially, actually, not even the 45. I would actually like the whole, like, almost 300 back, because I did a little bit of shopping today. Something for me, something for the wife, some Christmas stuff. And it added up kind of a bit, so I wouldn't mind having that money back. We're still doing it right because of some things I've moved around. And we still haven't had a bill from the other issue, which I haven't really addressed yet. So we're doing okay, but it would be nice to have a little bit of money back. So we'll see. All right, that's it.